a loser. I thought I might just get the atmosphere a bit down so it can only get up. But sincerely, I'm a loser and I'm really proud of it. And in fact, within 10 minutes at the end of this talk, my goal is to convince all of you that you want to be losers as well. So why would I say that I'm actually proud of being a loser? Well, it started about 3.5 years ago when I started my project, which is called Plastic Whale. I started this project, Plastic Whale, and it changed my life overnight. I mean, nothing is the same ever since. But just 1 month before I started the project, I was overcome by fear. I was afraid that I might fail. And if you fail, you are not a winner, you are a loser, and everybody wants to be a winner and not a loser, right? So I was afraid of failing, so I wanted to quit my plans of this project. But then there was this one evening in December 2010. We had this meeting with friends of ours, and one of my friends gave me this book as a gift. And the title of this book is called Loser. So how do you thank a friend for giving you a book called Loser? And he said, Marius, you see it's aluminum foil, so when you look at it, you can actually see yourself. And by the way, his ex-girlfriend wrote the book, so there you go, Michelle. Anyways, he gave me the book and it intrigued me, so I started flicking through it. And then I read the back cover. That's actually one of the first things that I do when I get a new book. And the back cover, that really got to me. And I'll read just a little piece of it. In our current society, failure is hardly accepted. Deceptions, failures, or disappointments are washed away completely. CVs, we put them on LinkedIn. Our most beautiful holiday pictures, we put them on Facebook. But our failures, our failed projects, or the holidays from hell, we keep them away secretly. Only successes are celebrated nowadays. Loser tackles this so-called success society by showing that failure can be an unexpected source of inspiration. And at that point in time, I decided I'm going to fail. I'm going to be a loser. I'm going to start my own project, and that's called Plastic Whale. So what's Plastic Whale all about? Well, Plastic Whale is about tackling the problem of the plastic soup. 10 years ago, I was traveling the world with my girlfriend for a year. She's now my wife, so it was a good trip. And we encountered the problem of plastic soup everywhere. I mean, we went to the most pristine beaches, we went diving, and everywhere we went, we saw plastic waste. But I wasn't actually that surprised because, I mean, plastic waste is a fact of our lives, right? But then one morning when we were sleeping on this pristine little beach on the north side of Borneo, we woke up and the weather was really bad because hundreds of kilometers north of Borneo, there had been this typhoon. So there was a lot of wind, a lot of clouds and everything, but also the beach just had disappeared, or it was still there, but it was engulfed by plastic waste. And that really opened my eyes. So I decided to do something about it. So when I came back from the travels, I thought, okay, I'm going to tackle the problem of the plastic soup. But I didn't know how. My background is in marketing, so when you're a marketeer, you know a lot of stuff about really nothing, or the other way around. I didn't have any connections in sustainability. I didn't have any knowledge of plastics. So I got really frustrated because I didn't know how to actually do something. So 2 weeks after we came back from our travels, we got married, so we were officially poor. And I had to make money, so I went to my old job. But then, at one point in time, something incredible changed all around the world, and that's called social media. Because of social media, a loner like me doesn't have to be alone anymore. Anyone with a specific idea can create a following. And I was, at the time, inspired by Kennedy's speech of 1961, during which he put a man on the moon figuratively. And at that time, that speech was so incredible because the actual, icon of this man on the moon was such an incredible challenge. It was nearly impossible, or it was impossible. They wanted to beat the Russians. But it was also a really, concrete challenge. So it spurred the nation to create, to collaborate, and to innovate. And in the end, they made it, or at least that's what they tell us. But then I thought, okay, to create a following nowadays with social media, you don't have to be a Kennedy anymore. It can be just Marius Smit, but I have to create my own man on the moon and invite other people to join. So as a father of 2 children and a house in Amsterdam with a mortgage to match, I decided to create this man on the moon, and it sounds like I want to build a boat made out of plastic waste, yet I've never driven a boat, let alone build one. So please help me. So you can imagine my wife's excitement when she heard about that. Because she was wondering how would you actually make money. And I didn't know yet. But I wanted to create this network of consumers, of companies, and government institutions that wanted to create, collaborate, and innovate towards a positive outcome. And I believed that in the end that would create a job for me as well. My wife still wasn't convinced, actually, but I started anyway. And it turned out to be a great success right from the start. I mean, as soon as I published my Man on the Moon, my life was taken over by my project. I was working day and night. I was traveling throughout Holland to meet all sorts of people who wanted to help me. There's so many people who want to do actually something really concrete and good for the world, but they don't know how to. I created a platform for them to contribute in their own way. But after about 4 months of meeting rooms, traveling through Holland, one of my new colleagues and I thought of a plan to do something practical in Amsterdam as well, because we're from Amsterdam, we can arrange some boats, we can arrange some friends and some food and drinks and fishing nets, and we go plastic fishing. And we call it old-fashioned plastic fishing, as if it's a long-lasting tradition. And we'll just invite nice people. But when we talked about that plan to other people as well, they smiled, so we thought, okay, let's make it a public event. So we asked one of our friends to create this poster. And we opened this Facebook event page and did nothing but that, but it spun completely out of control. For the first edition, more than 450 people on 30 boats turned up. On the second edition, it was more than 1,200 people on 72 boats with fishing nets. People just like going on the canals, fishing for plastics. It's incredible. So I was approached by the marketing manager of Starbucks, and he said, Marius, I love what you do. Can you also do that for our company? I said, all right, never thought of that. And I have learned doing this project, I never say no anymore. I always say, yes, I can. And then after that, I start figuring out how to solve that problem. But people liked it. So with thousands of people, we started fishing on the canals, and we created this sea of plastic waste that we fished from the canals. We separated the PET bottles from the rest of the waste, because in the meantime, we had found out that we could actually make a really nice boat out of those PET bottles. But we fished them out, and we created this sea of about 30,000 bottles that we took out from the canals of Amsterdam. And we created this beautiful boat that is sailing the canals of Amsterdam nowadays. We started building the boat last December, and we presented it last March. So last December we started building this boat, and I was without a job, and I was thinking to myself, okay, what am I going to do next? Because people were asking me, what are you going to do with the boat? And I didn't know. I didn't know what to do with my life, because I didn't want to go for another job, but I didn't know what to do with Plastic Whale either. Until that one night when I couldn't sleep anymore. I was lying awake in my bed, and then it dawned on me. I thought, okay, Plastic Whale is going to be the first professional plastic fishing company in the world. I'm going to be a plastic fisher. You can imagine my wife's excitement. But well, we presented it to the press and to the public in March, and I mean, it's been a great success. The general public loved the idea, the press loved the idea, but also companies came to me and they wanted to go plastic fishing. I mean, this year alone, about 20 companies approached me to go plastic fishing, and all of a sudden, a business was turning up. Companies now like Nike, like Delta Lloyd, ING Bank, Tommy Hilfiger, they approached me to go plastic fishing, and they absolutely loved it. So, all of a sudden, things are spinning out of control again. And these are really exciting times, because this winter we are going to build 2 more boats. We have found new sponsors. We have raised the company with investors. And it's getting really serious. And next year we want to take on more companies. We want to take on school kids, tourists. We want to take on as many people as possible to go plastic fishing. And the really exciting thing is that what we are doing in Amsterdam, you can copy to any place in the world where there's water. Because fishing for plastic seems to be fun. And turning it into product or into boats is just like magic. All it takes is a bunch of losers like me, people who are not afraid to fail anymore, people who want to create, collaborate, and innovate. So I call upon all those losers around the world, let's fish for plastic, let's build boats made out of plastic waste, and let's take positive action against the problem of plastic soup. Thank you very much.